Hello, Robbie.
All right, you should be good to go, Madam President.
Okay, so let's go ahead and call this meeting to order of the Waukegan Public Library Board of Trustees meeting for Wednesday, April 21st, 2021 at 6:30. And let's start with a roll call. Larry,
Here.
Chitara, Tatiana, Brian,
Present.
Rob,
Present.
Jeannie, Martha, and Josue. We, 1, 2, 3, 4. We do not have a quorum tonight. That's unfortunate. Okay, so that means that we cannot conduct official business tonight.
Do you want to maybe wait a couple of minutes, Madam Chair, or,
Yes, we can do that for sure. We do not have any public comments, so don't have that. Is it possible for us to go ahead and hear the Park District and the Historical Society and the Park District?
I mean, you can hear from them, but recognize that it won't be included in the minutes. I do notice that Tatiana may have just logged on, which would give you a quorum.
Okay. So Tatiana is now present, correct? Tatiana?
She's chatting,
Hi,
so
can you
maybe
hear
she
me?
hears us. There we
Yes,
go.
I can hear you now. Okay, so now we do have a quorum. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with myself. So we now can go ahead and conduct business. So we don't have any public comments. And the agenda, if we could move the Park District and the Historical Society up after our agenda and minutes, I would like to make that change with the agenda. So with that, could I get a motion from someone to approve the agenda with the correction that I just made?
I would move, Madam Chair, to move the Park District and historic presentation up to amend our agenda so they can be heard from earlier. I would move that.
Can we
I
get-
will second that.
That was Rob?
That was me. Yes, Rob.
Okay, Rob. Okay, roll call then. Larry,
Aye.
Tatiana,
Aye.
Brian,
Aye.
Rob,
Aye.
and I for me. Okay, so the agenda will be followed as printed with the exception of moving the Historical Society and the Park District up. So let's go ahead and get a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll motion to approve the minutes for, sorry. I'm approving the minute. I'm making a motion for the minutes.
Okay. Can we get a second
Second
from
that.
someone?
Second from Rob.
And a second from Lyle. Okay, all in favor, Larry,
Now, these are the minutes for the March 17th meeting of our Board of Trustees for the Public Library.
yes.
Very good. Okay, yes, I vote aye, yes.
Tatiana,
Aye.
Ryan,
Aye.
Rob,
Aye.
and I approve also. Okay, so then minutes were approved. Now we're going to move on to the presentation from the Waukegan Historical Society and also the Park District. And I want to just say welcome, Mr. Veal, welcome Ty to our meeting tonight.
Thank you so much, Madam President. Thank you all. Good evening to everybody. My name is Josh Bill, and I'm the president of the Waukegan Historical Society. We really appreciate the opportunity to tell you about a few things we're excited about and a potential partnership that we have in mind for you all. And Ty, do you want to introduce yourself?
Good evening, everybody. Ty Rohr, Manager of Cultural Arts of the Waukegan Park District, but work on behalf of the city's history for the Waukegan Historical Society as well. Thank you for having us this evening.
Okay, so we do have a brief slides presentation, so I'm going to attempt to share my screen if that's okay. Hopefully I'll be able to do that. Excellent. You're all seeing that okay? Yes, I trust?
Yes.
Right, thank you. So thank you again. We'll keep this short, but we do have, we're very excited about the Waukegan Carnegie project that the Historical Society in partnership with the Park District are undertaking. We are currently 75% through our schematic design phase, where we're working with Harbo Architects on the building that you see in front of you, the building that I think we all know and love, but have seen, vacant for far too long. And I know you all know that this was the former Waukegan Public Library before the wonderful location that it's in now. And we're excited to partner with the Park District to make this into a new home for the Waukegan Historical Society for our exhibits and our archives. This is a $10 million project, and up till right now, we've raised about $7 million non-taxpayer money, and we're hoping to get all $10 million non-taxpayer money. But it is fully funded with the Park District as well, and their commitment here with us. Now, I know you all know about this. That's part of why we're here, is to give you an update on that progress, but more specifically, we want to talk about what we'd like to do inside of this building, and hopefully with your help and support, we can make this all happen. And of course, Ty, anything you want to jump in, I know we've done presentations together before, so feel free to add your 2 cents in. Also, we'll have time at the end for questions, but if you have questions along the way, please don't hesitate to interrupt. This is a presentation, but it could also be a conversation. So inside, we're really starting to plan what we're going to have in here, and we have lots of different ideas, and we won't go through them all with you tonight. We really want to focus on what you can see there on room 101, the Bradbury Local History exhibit, which we're going to dedicate right now with our plans, 725 square feet, to tell the story of Ray Bradbury, and his inspiration in Waukegan, which largely features the Waukegan Public Library. Now, his library, this is all happening inside of the Carnegie, which was his library, but you're all part of that story too with the current library, and we hope to tell part of that story inside of this space as well. Now, we plan on opening in 2023, and what we're hoping to do with this Bradbury space is to showcase the Ray Bradbury collection. And that would be the books that currently are owned by you, the Waukegan Public Library, willed to you by Ray Bradbury himself. Currently, this is what the space looks like. If you've not been inside the Carnegie Library ever or for a while, it's always interesting to see what this looks like on the inside. But it also gives you a sense of where we're going here and the excitement, I think, that's involved with that. But this is our dream. This is our dream for the inside of that space. We would like to recreate this room in the way that it would have looked when Ray Bradbury was there, featuring bookshelves from the time period, a recreation of that beautiful fireplace that you can see, and really capturing the room. Now, Most of the Carnegie will actually be exhibiting Waukegan's history. We may also have a place for events. We're going to have a classroom space so that we can connect to the community. And so most of the inside of the building is going to look very modern. State-of-the-art exhibits is what we have in mind. But this room, our vision at least, is to recreate this space as it would have looked like when Ray Bradbury was there, reading his books, falling in love with the library. And we're hoping to fill these shelves, and this is where we would need your help, with Bradbury's own collection of books. We think that it would be a great way to tell the story and come full circle if we have a recreation of the room that inspired Ray Bradbury to do all this amazing writing, and even using perhaps some of the actual books that inspired him. And so we want to be a partner, we want to be your partner in this. And I would say there's also going to be, and this is still, we're still in discussions with this, but we certainly could and plan on telling the story of the Carnegie building itself as the library, but also the current story of the library, award-winning public library, a wonderful resource that we still have to the community. And we'd love for this to be, you know, for Bradbury lovers from across the land, really, certainly regionally, but we're hoping people will come from far and wide to see this. And we'd love to steer them over your way too, so that they could see the statue and see the facilities that you have in your library too. So that would be part of the partnership, is helping to tell the public library, a wonderful resource that we still have to the community. And we'd love for this to be, you know, for Bradbury lovers from across the land, really, certainly regionally, but we're hoping people will come from far and wide to see this. And we'd love to steer them over your way too, so that they could see the statue and see the facilities that you have in your library too. So that would be part of the partnership, is helping to tell the public library, a wonderful resource that we still have to the community. And we'd love for this to be, you know, for Bradbury lovers from across the land, really, certainly regionally, but we're hoping.
Peter, do you happen to have a copy of the live stream
We'd
open?
love to steer them over your way too, so that they can see the statue and see the facilities that you have in your library too. So that would be part of the partnership. Sorry about that. I'm not sure what happened there. It sounded like you were hearing me all over again, deja vu. Am I okay to continue, Madam President?
Sylvia, you are muted. Oh, at least it's not February and it's not Groundhog Day. We weren't. Josh, is great to listen to you talk. So you are making a very important point. Madam President, may I request you unmute?
Okay. Okay, I'm good. Good. Anything else, Josh?
Oh, at least it's not February and it's not Groundhog Day. We weren't. Josh, is great to listen to you talk. So you are making a very important point.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Madam President, may.
So, yes, so I was just in the middle of saying that this is how we're looking to partner with perhaps a loan of Ray Bradbury's books, the Ray Bradbury collection, so that we can help tell this magnificent story of Bradbury, the books that he loved, the books that inspired him, and the public library that inspired him as well. This is another view of the children's reading room. It's a little bit of a later image, but we wanted to include this in the presentation because we would like to, the mural that you see up above, we haven't decided fully what we'd like to do, but we'd like to, if not recreate that, somehow make the mural part of the exhibit and have it tell the story interactively. So we're looking to, we've actually just recently hired Lucy Creative, which is a design firm in Chicago, to help us bring about these kind of state-of-the-art things. And I think they're going to have some interesting ideas of how to make this mural enhance that room. So we wanted to share all of those things with you. Currently, this is an early design from our architects. And Ty and I were joking because, this is what it would look like without the books. So, if you're not, if we don't get this partnership formed, we're going to have to reimagine this room somehow. We hope not to do that. What we'd really love to do is showcase the Bradbury collection, showcase the library, and to have a great home for a magnificent part of our city's history. But this is also, all joking aside, this is also to show you that the architects, we're really at a phase now where we're going through these plans, and we need to know moving forward with our own plan for this building if this can become a reality or not. And so that's where we're looking to you to see if you're open to this partnership. We've started some discussions with John and Doug about a possible agreement, but certainly this is the board's decision. So that's why we're here tonight. And again, we thank you for your time as well. If this all goes the way we see it going, any books that we aren't able to showcase for some reason or another, we will have a state-of-the-art storage facility in the Carnegie. This is a look at the basement, where this will be totally climate controlled, humidity controlled. Ty could probably describe this better than I could, but the way to take care of these artifacts, the way that will best preserve them for the long term. And that's pretty much it. We wanted to end with a picture of Ray because we think this is, we know he'd be excited to see the Carnegie come back to life. We're confident about that. We're pretty confident that he would like the idea of his books being in that library, the place where he drew some inspiration. And it's also to show that we have Bradbury Park. It's an excellent it's on the National Literary Landmark now. So it shows that the city is full of great partnerships, and Bradbury partnered with you, with the Park District to get these things done, and all for the betterment of Waukegan. And I think that's what everybody here wants. So Ty, what am I missing here? Anything?
No, I don't believe you missed anything, Josh. We're happy to answer any questions, concerns that you may have.
Yes, that's what I missed. We're happy to take questions.
So before we jump into any questions or anything, I just want to say that I'm going to abstain for any comments or questions regarding this since I have a conflict of interest with this project.
I have a question. Would the collection be more, it would be more like a museum where people cannot browse the items, or is this something that people who come in can touch and look through the collection?
So this would be they would not be able to browse the collection, no. That within this, we would allow it to become somewhat of a researchable tool, but with our supervision, not something that the public could just come in and grab a book off the shelf. But within the interpretation of that room, not only are we trying to tell the story of the old building, but also Bradbury, but also that unique collection too. So that's part of that exhibit is telling that story, to have people interact with it in some capacity, not necessarily holding it in their hands, but a very good question.
And
yeah, it'd be probably glass covering those shelves to protect.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was going to be my next question, was security, what security would look like. Thank you.
Yeah,
So-
so
So those
this is-
those bookshelves will be created in a way for proper humidity controls and things of that nature. So it right now it just looks like wood bookshelves, but they really will be much more than that.
so regarding the collection room for Bradbury, would you foresee having some sort of having a employee of the Historic Society in that room just to kind of keep management or view of everything? And would you have any kind of security camera to kind of just monitor the whole thing too? Because sometimes, you can't always have someone standing there. Things come up. You got to, just to some, you follow me? That just again, it's concern for the collection and for everyone's benefit that it be secured, and sort of thing, and watched over, not to impede anyone, but just for everyone's benefit.
Yes. Again, the bookshelves will be the books will be behind glass, so they won't be able to be reached, touched, grabbed by the public. The building will have full security, a full security system, along with security cameras. It'll have proper fire suppression within the building, things like that too.
Okay, thank you.
I have another question. I'm not sure if this should be for John. What kind of paperwork or documents do we have from the benefactors? And would we run into any issues loaning out our collection in that regard, Douglas or John?
We don't have any documentation from the Bradbury estate per se. But as far as documentation, Douglas and I have been working with Ty and Josh to create an agreement for the group. So that would be beneficial for both parties. And when that agreement is finished enough, we'll bring it to the board for full approval.
Thanks, John.
Any other questions?
So when it comes to the room, can I be heard?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, very good. Okay. So often in such places as museums and art galleries and so forth, fundraisers are held from time to time, and events such as that. So would this particular room be off limits for, maybe some access to it, but you wouldn't having full access to such a room as this if you're having a fundraiser or some, where you have all kinds of people coming in, and you follow me on that? Just curious.
Well, we
Because-
intend
yeah.
for this room to have full access for the public and even in an event. But full access doesn't mean that they have any access to the collections. The collections will be protected. In our pictures that it shows just an open wood bookshelf, but they will be actual display cases that look like the original bookshelves.
Out of curiosity, is
Beautiful.
there going to be some sort of a public room where lectures could be held somewhere in this building? Just curious, or public events or fundraisers or different events about Waukegan somewhere in that building?
Yeah, Josh is pulling that back up. So room 102, the big pie-shaped room right in the middle off of the Bradbury exhibit space would be that location.
Okay, thank you.
If you, that room has a beautiful view of Lake Michigan and the harbor, really, that is kind of unseeable, at least from the angle that the Carnegie is in, up on top of that bluff. It's pretty spectacular. I know we showed you that empty room, but it's that room alone, even right now, before anything is in it, is there. And we intend for that to be, one of the jewels of this building, is that people can look out and there'll be events, lectures, that's all that we plan. And we hope that you'll be a part of that too. If you have events that might be more fitting to be held, in the Carnegie, we're certainly going to be open to that.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a quick question, Josh. How many people could be in that room at one time?
That one has a capacity of 120.
Nice. That's nice.
And
Okay.
Ty, what's the building capacity? Do you know that one?
The building capacity, no, I don't have that in my head. The library space, the classroom would be 35. So I mean, that's the way we would be programming it with the tables and things like that would need to be out. When we're done and we're going to have an addition put onto this building for accessibility, accessibility, an elevator, things of that nature, we'll have about 12,000 square feet. And it's not the biggest building in the world, but it really does fit our needs. And it's kind of like they had built that in mind back in 1901 for us. So we're excited about that. Now, we are happy to show you this building. We can take you inside, show you around, show you these spaces in person. We'd be happy to do that. We could take you in groups, of course. We don't want to violate any open meeting acts, but really we are more than welcome to take you in and show these spaces. It really helps you once you're inside to understand the vision and just see where this is all going.
Thank you. Okay. Any other questions?
One more, just real quick. It's just a very simple question, if I may. Thank you. What's the when on the first slide there was like a name, apparently a name of, did it say Carnegie Center? Or yeah, this down here in the lower left corner. What does that Waukegan Carnegie Center? Is that what that says?
That is what it says. It's a great question, and it's one that we're still discussing. The Historical Society and the Park District are still discussing what we actually want this to be named. It might be called that, but we have some other thoughts in mind too, and that's ultimately actually going to be the Park District's decision because they're the owners of the building. But I think we're still milling that over. But that's what we've and when we're putting together these designs, we want to say something. So that's what we're going with for right now.
Oh, okay. I'm just curious if that was the final name of the facility or yeah. Oh, I get it. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
We know that whatever we call it, everybody will just call it the Carnegie Library, but.
Right.
So Ty, did you have a presentation also?
No, I'm just here to support Josh and help with any questions.
Did you want to say something about the symphony?
Well, I can do that next time if you'd like. I can.
Okay.
I'll do that next time in public comment.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Thank you. Thank you all so very much.
Thank you.
We'll move on then. Thank you to our finance committee.
Oh, all right. That's me. Chair of the Finance Committee. Yes, we had our meeting earlier this evening, and we went over several documents that are in our packet for this evening. And the first document we went over to review is it's page 1 of the board packet for this evening. It's called the Waukegan Public Library Summary of Actual versus Budgeted Results for the 11th months ending on March 31st of 2021. And to summarize that quickly, our Anna was here to help us review this, and everything looked within means, looked appropriate. There is the grants were we've spent over $1 million in grants that we've received, as I understand, related to COVID issues, and John shared with us at our meeting that that over 80,000 persons here in Waukegan have been given through the CARE grant, as I understand, COVID-related supplies such as PPE supplies, masks, different kits. So kits were assembled and distributed, and along with some information in them about our public library and what we do. So that was quite exciting. It's a wonderful service that we provided to our public and to our patrons. It's very exciting, and I just applaud all who participated in this and those who were able to get the grant and those who gave us the grant. It's very exciting, very worthwhile. And then also there was the grant for literacy, and that literacy grant not only includes books, but it also includes digital training and information, and also a health literacy is part of that literacy grant. So that's another very worthwhile aspect of it. So we really do a lot. It's very well-rounded in terms of our grants and how we've been using them. And other than that, in terms of the under expenditures, repairs and maintenance, those are a little high, but again, it's due to COVID related cleaning issues and just trying to keep everything appropriately maintained in regard to that. Anna, are you still here? Are you still here somewhere?
Yes, I am.
Very good. Okay, perhaps you could add anything to what I summarized here. Any other additional comments or insights you may give the board regarding this report?
Yes, this is the 11 months out of our fiscal year. So if we divide it equally, it should be about 92% of our budget. As you can see, some areas that we do spend more and some areas we don't. We haven't. I would like to point out in the salary area, that is under budget. We're like 10% under. That's because we lost some positions that we did not fill. And then we went for outside for cleaning services and also for technical services. That's why the repair and maintenance, which is cleaning, includes cleaning, and the tech service expense are higher. So basically, we reallocated the expense due to, situation. And that's basically what this report is. And we are in good shape. The net result, if you look at it as income and expense, we are right in the middle, 900,000. So if we're talking about income, that's what we have.
Thank you. All right. Anyone on the board have any questions about the report we're reviewing? Yes, Taishan.
I have a question just about the staff recognition. I saw about $1,200 for staff recognition. Can somebody explain what that was used for?
Well, we're going to move on to that next for the monthly budget for the monthly check details. So before we do that, is there any further question or comment about the summary of actual versus budgeted results for the 11th months ending on March 31st of 2021? Okay, very good. Thank you, Anna, for your summary of that. All right. Now let's then go on to the monthly check detail for March of 2021. And yes, so Tatiana, go forward and again, maybe you could bring that again so we understand it better.
Yes, so under the check detail, I was looking at several different lines that had different amounts in them, and it was totaled around $1,200, and they were all listed as staff recognition. And I was just wondering what that was used for.
We bought gift cards for our staff for the holidays. Each gift card is $50. So the first page, you see staff recognition. There's the $48.76. Those are actually $50. But because it's a credit card and we have a refund on the credit card, the general ledger system, they just, spread it evenly. But most of the staff recognition are gift cards to the staff.
Thanks, Anna.
Mhm.
Thank you, Anna. All right, yes, well, our committee reviewed this. Yeah, nothing particularly stood out as, all routine and well explained. Anna, do you have any additional comments on the monthly board check detail for March of 2021?
No,
Wanna
but
bring to our attention. Mhm.
yeah, there were two big disbursements. Let's see, it is check number 114489 for
Now, what page is this
innovative.
on? If I'm sorry, what page is this on in our terms of our monthly board check detail?
I don't know. I have
Oh, okay.
looking at different source.
Oh, you've got a different, okay, all right.
Mine is in a spreadsheet.
Page 12.
Page 12. Thank you, John. Thank you. Okay, page 12.
Innovative interface, that's for online research. That is for 1 year. That is that's 1 year, 1 year online research. And we pay this around this time every year. And then below that, 4 or 5 down for rails. We have disbursements, 2,850. That is for the Bradbury board. I do believe that was approved last meeting. And then the 15,000 is for communicable, and that was passed. That's for SIM, or you call it SMS, and that was approved in the December meeting. So those are the two large expenditure we have for this month, last month.
Thank you. Very good. All right, any other comments or questions about the monthly board check detail? I will say that we did discuss it fully and we did approve to bring this to the board for your review, and hearing there's really no further discussion on this, I would make a motion to approve the monthly board check detail for the Waukegan Public Library for March of 2021.
I'll second.
Thank you, Brian. Okay, all in favor? Roll call. Larry,
Aye.
Tatiana,
Aye.
Brian,
Aye.
Rob,
Aye.
and I for myself, motion carried. Okay, moving on down to the acting executive director's report.
Thank you, Madam President. I was able to join University of Illinois iSchool. They had a library trivia night last night for future librarians. They're about 2 weeks out from graduation, so I thought a good opportunity to get to know some of the newly minted librarians and put the good word out that Waukegan Public Library is the place to be. I'm excited to be able to be a part of that as a representative of the library. A lot of stuff in my report, primarily about the building in terms of the operations. We have to swap out a water fountain downstairs that was leaking, and so it was an old one. We had to replace it. We have 4 new garage door openers. We were using the originals from 1963. These are actually safer, so when you stand in the way of the door, they actually stop instead of continuing on down to threaten our lives. So that'll keep our safety and maintenance guys safe. Budget's in good shape. The admin team is working on rolling out a concern form so that we can keep apprised as to employees' concerns and complaints. We are going to have that open door sign at the front door here soon, Madam President. So that's coming hopefully in the next week or so. We're also looking into getting a tent for outside programming. And so there are several quotes that we've received from local vendors. We've been working and had a great meeting with Beacon Place to check out their tent on their site. It's amazing. It's like a whole room. It's not just a tent. It's actually like a classroom cabin style. It's completely watertight. I came on a rainy day and there was no water inside. And the actual shell of the thing is solid, so they moor it to the ground. So we're hopeful and excited about getting a tent installed, more than likely on our courtyard, so that we can have programming outside. Also working on getting ready to do things like signage, as was recommended at a few of our other board meetings, to try and update some of our signs. And one of the things we've been talking about a little bit, and there's a hefty price tag to it, but I think it would be worth it in the long run, is to get an LED sign for outside of our building. So our team is putting finishing up touches. We just recently, and Karina and the team met today to talk about Communico. So putting the finishing touches on our Communico app. So within a few weeks, hopefully we'll have our own app where we can launch into the training portion and get everybody apprised as to how to use it and really start boosting and marketing the app itself in the summer. As far as personnel, we're in the strategic hiring process at the present moment. We're looking to hire some positions for janitorial and a few other community, I would call them coordinator positions, so that we can start to address some of the needs of the library, especially our website, which is an important piece, and the marketing piece. Again, we can't just expect Karina to do it all. She's amazing, but no person should have to carry all that load. So we're working on splitting out some of the responsibilities and rediscovering what marketing can be. Waukegan is a word of mouth community, and it really does a lot of good to be there where the people are rather than expecting people to come to us. And Karina has extreme talent in terms of being a community outreach person. So there will be some position title changes here in the near future. But exciting times. We're right facing our service model to focus on the functions that the library does rather than the departments so much. There's all sorts of exciting things coming. So let me just leave it at that. We're expanding our hours out 10 to 7 Monday through Friday, 10 to 3 Saturday and Sunday. Beginning May 1, which actually technically on the 3rd Monday, we'll have 1 hour long appointments for our patrons. And we're making plans so by June 1, we can include browsing. The Centers for Disease Control recently released new information that says that the COVID-19 is not transmitted as much on surfaces as it is through the droplets in the air. So we're working on, again, expanding the space out so that more patrons can come in and have more access to the collection. My Friends and Foundation have been meeting. We have a new Friends president. Her name is Ginny Stricker. She is excellent, has been instrumental in their Amazon efforts. And the foundation is still working. And I went to the Supermercado Gonzalez and checked out Drip and Culture. I've been calling it Drip in Culture, but it's Drip and Culture, where we will have a little free library in that beautiful coffee shop. And I got to meet Adam, and I'm excited about the possibilities and the collaborations that are coming as a result of our work and the foundation's work. So good things happening. I summarized what I've written, so I didn't have to just read it from it verbatim. It went out in email. Apologies for the delay, but I ended up having to talk to people on the telephone all day. So grateful for the opportunity to serve. And I have addressed, as Sylvia has requested, the copy of Karina and Gail's statements in writing. So I've attached those to my director's report, but I will gratefully decline my opportunity to speak and let these fine folks tell you about their part of our library's work and the great work that they do. Thank you for the opportunity to serve.
Thank you, John. Great report. Can we move on to the service report then?
Good evening, everyone. May I share my screen?
Please.
So we thought we'd give you a visual this month, a little bit different in terms of sharing both the services and marketing reports. So John has already talked about our kiosk and curbside services as we continue to expand and to be able to provide more opportunities to engage our community within the building. So as he stated, all appointments are extending up to 1 hour, but we welcome walk-ins. Appointments are not necessary, and we'll continue to bring in more people. One of the things that we're going to be starting in the month of May is returning to on-site testing for our adult learners, so we can get our people and their needs addressed that want to continue or get back into tutoring and conversation ESL, those types of programs that require an intake appointment. Oops, went too far. So for children's this past month, we've been participating in several community-based initiatives. And I'm going to start over. We've been expanding our services to engage the community with more of our library resources. So these are some examples of our family movie boxes and discovery bags. They go very quickly. People are very excited. They get to take them out. There's activities. We're engaging them with resources throughout the library, and it's family and child oriented, which again supports our literacy goals as well as our supporting our parents as they engage with their children. We are conducting a 3rd through 8th grade poetry contest. And asking people to write poetry and submit that. There will be a $25 gift card. So again, working with the school district and working with community members, getting children interested in this contest. This coming weekend, we're partnering with Ace Hardware and Cool Learning Experience with a Earth Day, a happy Earth Day birthday, and we'll be present on site at the Ace Hardware. So do stop by. There'll be activity packets, games, decorating pots, seed packet giveaways, and educational information about Earth Day. And so that staff will be representing the library in the community. This photo is our participation with the Boys and Girls Club of Lake County. This happened on a cold, wet, windy, dreary April 12th. We were able to take with us 200 activity packets, and there were both children and family packets, our new newsletter that came out for April, and we also provided those families with PPE kits. So again, we're looking at that outward-facing, community-based activity, bringing the library to the community. As it relates to adult services, we were able to have our first trivia night relaunch back over at Nightshades across the street, and we say that it was a roaring success. There were 31 live attendees that participated, but it was done in a COVID-safe manner. But people reported that they had a great time. And Night Teach in Dark, we will be getting an update on how much, but they do provide us how much we've received, but they do provide us with a percentage of funding from what they sell. And it's been a really nice contribution through our foundation. In addition, we have some current displays, and so we're looking at Autism Awareness Week. Those are book displays, as well as National Library Week, and Dear, Drop Everything and Read. And for Easter, there was a bunny butt flower pot, which was well received through Cindy's Arts and Crafts, which is also accompanied with a video on how to do it, as well as an activity kit that people pick up through our curbside service. In adult education, we're continuing to see great interest and participation in our digital literacy program. Does not mean that our tutoring and conversational ESL isn't doing well, but just wanted to highlight this program. We're also partnering with Consumer Credit, and that program is virtual, but well received and always has a good attendance. And we just finished Virtual Money Smart Week, which is a national adult literacy and library focused week, and had a great response with that. And then finally, Larry talked earlier about a lot of the grants. So one of our grants is around helping people to navigate through the pandemic and building capacity for our community health workers as well as the library. So people can actually call us and they will receive a vaccine appointment. And so that's one of our ways to contributing to our community getting back to the new normal, so we can blast the doors wide open and invite everybody in. For the summer, we are focused on Reading Colors Your World. That is a library-wide initiative. There will be a number of programs and activities and events throughout the summer, all under the umbrella of Reading Colors Your World. Some things that you'll see and I want you to look forward to is a gardening program as well as a reading challenge. Another big initiative for the summer is Juneteenth, but Karina will talk more about that. And then lastly, since the last time we spoke, we have one more new grant. I'm trying to stop sharing. Okay, one more new grant, which is the Illinois Public Health Association grant. It's a pandemic navigation grant that is allowing us to build our capacity for health literacy, allowing us to increase our library community outreach and engagement, providing us some more funding for marketing and outreach, increasing our collaboration with other library partners. It is also offsetting $53,000 in our budget. So that'll be $53,000 that we can spend differently because we're able to incorporate some of our staff salaries into this grant. So I really want to emphasize, I know sometimes you sit back and you scratch your head and you're like, why this grant? Why that grant? There are a number of issues, but it's always community need, community focus, positioning, increasing the value of the library to the community, and whenever possible, offsetting our operational budget. That's all I have for services.
Thank you so much. Really great to see the screen. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. And one other thing, I just really want to give a thumbs up and a hand clap to all of the staff that have really been working hard this past month with all the things that I just talked about, in particular, whether it's our collection staff, our children's staff, but every single person pulling together and making these things happen.
If I may, real quick.
Thank you very much. Excuse me, Larry. Thank you very much, Gail, for your report. I just had a few questions for you. All of the information that you gave us, it's on the website. Great. So
those things are on the website, yes.
So a question, is it the 22nd or the 24th for Earth Day at ACE?
It's this coming Saturday.
The 24th, okay. Okay, okay, Larry, would you like to offer something quickly?
Oh, yes, I just wanted to congratulate you. I really like that visual with the summer reading program with all the colors and the writing. It was very colorful. It was very exciting. It excited me. Can I come?
Well, there are going to be quite a few things coming around the outside of the building. Karina will talk about that a little more, but we'll be coloring your world, definitely.
Very good. Thank you. Very exciting. Thank you.
From this point on, if you have a comment, hold it to your comment time. Any questions, though? Do you have any questions of Gail? Okay, let's move on then to Karina. Thank you, Gail. That was an awesome report.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm going to pop it back up for Karina.
Awesome. Okay, so thank you for having me again. Great to see you all again. So I will kind of go over, I know we mentioned it already, but the spring mailer. And it's our first kind of trial at targeting mailing. So we did 2 versions. Yeah, thank you, John. We call it the blue flyer and the yellow flyer. The blue one was more family focused. So you'll see more kind of children and more of their children's activity. It was bilingual, where the yellow one was kind of geared more to our adults, our older population, where we included more of the information for our partnering foundation, friends, and all of that information more focused on adult programming. So this went out earlier this month, and we've already seen a great response to it. Gail's already getting phone calls for folks interested in being our tutor coaches, as well as patrons interested in attending our classes. So we were really excited to already see a response on those. And then, Gail, could you go to the next? Thank you. So yeah, I know that Gail already kind of talked about it, but the menu of services, continuing to get this updated. As we're seeing, as John mentioned, our hour expansion for on-site visits. So that will be updated. It's in English and Spanish. I included the URL down there. So all of this information is on there in our website. And the first carousel will also take you there on our main page. So you can just click that and it'll take you there. You can click the Spanish Español icon on the top of the website and it'll give you the Spanish version of that as well. And all of this will also be distributed through our normal communication channels. So that'll be social media, our e-blast. And then on my report, I included a link so that you can, if you're not already, you can sign up to receive our e-newsletter. We'll be distributing that information too. As well as our physical promotional materials. So that'll be flyers on the main floor, the posters in the main entrance will be updated as well. Gail, could you hit me? Thank you. And then reading colors your world. So we're, as Gail mentioned, we're really excited about this and have together as a committee try to figure out different ways to promote this and really go all out. And so, of course, our traditional kind of mediums, so our flyers, our posters, social media, but also for the first time are doing a summer promotional video. So we are planning to do kind of a mini ad showcasing several staff. So we're hoping to include as many of our staff as we can, make it fun, engaging, funny, to really get folks excited. I know that as John mentioned, a big part of really important is getting out the word. And since we can't physically be there in all the spaces, we're hoping that this video can be distributed widely. We're gonna work with the schools to get these in the classroom so that folks can see it that way. Our children can engage in that way. So really excited about that. In addition to our summer newsletter. And yeah, we are working with community partners to get yard signs. So we're talking with the Park District and different locations throughout Waukegan so we can have yard signs posted too. So traditional and non-traditional ways of getting the word out. So very excited about this. And then lastly, I think, I did want to talk about Communico, but I know that John already mentioned, so I won't talk too much about it. But we're also have been working on kind of wrapping that up and hoping to have a target release date for June. So we're hoping that this will really help patrons find everything in one location versus having multiple apps and multiple locations to browse our e-resources, but also to be able to see our calendar better and register for programs easier.
Thank you, Karina. That was an awesome report. And the thing that I like about your reports that you wrote down is now we can go back after the meeting and we can look over them. So thank you very, very much for those reports. As far as my report tonight, the only thing I really want to say is Cindy, who makes the craft kits for adults. I think that is just it's the greatest thing ever. So anyway, I did talk to Cindy and she shared that with me. So other than that, just want to thank everybody, for all of your hard work that you're doing at the library. Moving right on to new business, and John, take the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. As far as new business, last year at the toward middle of the fiscal year, because we were being hesitant due to COVID-19 and not knowing what our fiscal years would look like moving forward, the concerns have all but been allayed in terms of our funding from the city. And again, as has been shown, we're powerhouses at raising grant money. Now, raising funds is another story. We'll continue to do the efforts that we are doing, but this is basically a continuation of the the cost of living adjustment that we made. So we did a 4% for the last 6 months of the fiscal year, which for the whole fiscal year, fiscal 20, it would have been 2%. So this year, what I'm asking is that we extend this cost of living adjustment for the staff so that we do not have to reduce their pay. But that way it's consistent over the next 2 years. Each year has been consistently 2% per year. So this time we're actually getting to it in April rather than in October, whenever we got to it last year. So my request is that we go ahead with a 2% cost of living adjustment and keep, basically extend the cost of living adjustment that we set last year. So there won't be any adjustments in terms of expense, additional expense.
So at this point, we need a motion to talk about it.
I'll make a motion to discuss the proposed 2% COLA.
Can we get
Do
a
I need to say
second?
anything?
I'll second.
Larry? Okay.
Yes, yes. Mhm.
Okay, any questions?
I do. So it's not so much an extension as we're asking for an approval for this year again. So just
Yes,
to
ma'am.
clarify, so we gave a 2% cost of living increase last year, and now we're asking for another 2% increase for next year.
That's correct.
Okay.
Okay, well, if there's no other questions, let's.
I guess I do want to have a discussion about it only to say that going forward, I think we should plan on doing this, or I feel like this sets a precedent if we do this every year. Do you know what I'm saying? So so I just wanted to have a discussion about it. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, may I make a comment? Yeah. So if I understand it, we already gave a 2% and the proposal is to give a 2% additional now versus waiting until October. Is that how I understand it?
That's correct. We delayed last year because of the pandemic and we were closed for a chunk of the year, but the expenses continue and so do those cost of living. It does not go down, it continues to go up. So yes, it is a 2% cost of living adjustment for fiscal year 22.
And typically,
I do want to say it's not uncommon to do this, right? It's not uncommon to do a 2% increase at all. John, do you know how many years in a row we've given a 2% increase?
Fiscal 2019, 20, and 21.
Any other questions? Rob?
Yeah, I guess a follow-up to that. So if they got the cost of living adjustment of 2% for 19, 20, and 21, did they just have stagnant salaries beforehand? Or?
Yes. It was a number of years. I think it was up to 8 years where there were no adjustments to staff salaries.
Any other questions? Then roll call. Larry?
No.
Shatara? I'm sorry, Tatiana?
No.
Brian?
Just to clarify, we're voting to approve the extension, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Rob?
Aye.
And no for me. 1, 2, 3. It did not pass. So as far as the extension, we are not approving the extension at this time. So John, if you want to come back at a different time with that, then do so.
Absolutely. And I'm happy to meet with any board member who has recommendations of how we should do the cost of living or pay adjustments in the future.
Okay, thank you. Okay, trustees, Tatiana.
Big thank you to Gail and Karina. I really very much enjoyed the presentation. I found it extremely helpful and I'm appreciative of the time that you took in putting that together for us and for the community. Thank you very much. Thank you to everyone for their hard work.
Thank you, Tatiana. Larry?
Right. Well, I would just like to thank John and Gail and Karina and everyone here at the library for doing and Anna too, who's very good with the financials and summarizing all that, very, very loyal and dedicated to all this. And I appreciate everyone's involvement and making some exciting things happen and more exciting things to be coming down the pike anytime. So very good. Bravo. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry. Brian?
Thank you. Yeah, so I say this every month. You know, I love seeing all the work that the staff is doing. Without the staff at the library, we're not able to get these programs that are so well received by the community out there. I'm really looking forward to the app that's coming out soon. It's great to hear, John, that building these different community partnerships with local businesses like Drip and Culture, who I've only had good experiences with their coffee. So it's great that we're able to reach out to these local businesses to try to foster these relationships and partnerships. So again, just good work to everybody, because again, without the staff here, we wouldn't be able to do the great stuff that we do.
Thank you. Thank you. Rob?
No comment for me today, but thank you to everyone.
Okay. Okay, did I get everybody? You know what, I just want to say thank you, Douglas, for being on board with us every meeting. So with that, can we get a motion to adjourn?
I move that we adjourn.
I'll second.
Okay, so it's been moved in second that we adjourn this meeting. Roll call, Larry.
Aye.
Tatiana.
Aye.
Brian.
Aye.
And Rob.
Aye.
Okay, thank you all. We will see you very soon.
Thank you all. Have a great night.
Adjourned.
Thank you.